He got caught. Well, now he got caught. You know how he got caught? Somebody probably told on him. This is lame.
I got chucked a package into my car, which was yay big, and then I got chucked £400 in rolled up notes. To which point I'm sat in a car then thinking, you know, what have I just done?
What was the training like to become a prison officer?
Looking back on it now, not substantial enough, but it was all engineered around a classroom basically, and learning, you know, via PowerPoint, etc. There's no prisoner facing, there's no environment that you can replicate when you go onto a wing for the first time and there's 130 young men there. There's nothing that can replicate that. I remember opening the doors to the wing, and all of a sudden the thing I remember most is the noise. The noise was something else, and to see 120 lads basically running wild, it was breathtaking. I worked primarily in Lancaster Farms, which is a young offender institute in Lancaster which houses lads from Manchester and Liverpool mainly, and there's a few kind of local lads mixed in, but mainly the big gangs from Manchester and Liverpool, they all come into Lancaster Farms and then they crossfire there. At that point I felt scared. At that point I questioned what I'd done. I didn't let anyone know because at the time the ego and the bravado took over, but yeah, inside I was worried, and I knew I'd made probably not the best decision. The first 18 months there was no issues whatsoever. The second period of my employment there, I was drinking heavily, massively, to try and, I don't know, maybe I just couldn't cope with it. You know, the stress was horrible. So I think over a period of time the prisoners would have probably picked up on the fact that I wasn't doing too well. I remember one day I knew this lad's dad was ill, and one of the cleaners came to me and said, "Can you go and have a word with ex-prisoner?" And I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I've gone into the cell, and the lad was in bits, in tears on the bed, saying that he needed to speak to his dad urgently as his dad wasn't well. He's got no phone credit. Please, 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 can you bring me a mobile phone in? To which I've said no. I've then gone off for my dinner.
Nigga tried to 48 him. Yeah, they tried to 48 him. I'm gonna tell you what 48 be. 48 is the 48 laws of power. But that nigga said, yo, when you trying to finesse a nigga, niggas like, he's 48, he trying to 48 you. But now that nigga say, yo, bring me a phone, my dad ain't ill. Nigga, fuck out of here, nigga. What that got to do with me, nigga? Bring you no fucking phone, nigga. Nigga said, my dad is ill. Cry, my dad is ill, bring me a phone. I got no phone credit, bring me a phone. What? That's gangster. That's gangster.
Now, what I should have done at that point is reported that to the prison, but I didn't. I just kept it in my head. Went off to play football at dinner, came back, and same again, unlock. All the prisoners go off the wing to work, to education, to do whatever. And the same instance again, they're still in tears, please will you bring me a mobile phone in? Now this has been on my mind all dinner time. And he said to me, as I was sat on the end of the bed to him, I'll give you £400 to bring me one mobile phone in. And I don't know why at that point I walked out of the cell. Again, didn't tell anyone, didn't say anything to him, I just walked out. And he asked me again.
My son started thinking about it. Nigga said, $400? 400 pounds? Alright.
And I don't know why, but I said yeah. I was then passed a mobile phone number on a little piece of paper and told to ring the number when I left work. I've driven out of the city thinking I was some kind of mastermind, went to use a telephone box and rung the number. And I was asked where I was. I said, right, well, I'm 10 minutes from junction, whatever. A car pulled up next to me, the window wound down. I got asked, are you Lee? I said, yeah. And then there was two lads in a car. One of them had like a hoodie on and whatnot, and then I got chucked a package into my car, which was yay big, and then I got chucked £400 in rolled up notes. To which point I'm sat in a car then thinking, you know, what have I just done? All the while I've got in my mind, how am I going to get this package into the prison in the morning? In prisons, the prison I worked, I think in my stint of 3.5 years, I think I was actually searched 3 or 4 times. So the balance of probability was in my favour, but again, obviously it was still a big worry. So I stuffed it down my pants in the morning. So obviously pulling into the car park, I'm trying to look around the car park thinking, is this some kind of ploy? Is it a setup? So I just decided to go for it.
He thinking that the inmate trying to set him up. He think the inmate trying to set him up. He nervous as fuck right now. He don't know what's going on. Nah, you good, nigga. Bring this pack.
Everything looked normal. Everything felt normal. I just wanted to get it.
Nigga gonna hit him with the, yo, you don't bring this in. I'm gonna tell him you brought me this in. Nigga start being ready to start telling on us. Yo, yeah, bring me some. You ain't gonna bring that? You brought this in?
Out my
niggas get real pussy.
Go for it.
Fuck it up.
Everything looked normal. Everything felt normal. I just wanted to get it out of my house. Gone into the second door where it is the point of no return. You know, there's big signs on the thing, you will face 10 years in jail if you bring contraband past this, point. And just as I've walked down, as if I was going down onto my wing.
That shit been there this whole time. Yeah, snitching. That's snitching, no matter what. It don't matter. Niggas be trying to put new rules to it, nigga. If you tell on the cop or CO, nigga, you still snitch, nigga. That's still snitching, nigga. No comment, nigga. That's what you say. But fucking, what I'm about to say right here, that sign been there forever. You face 10 years, bring consciousness past this point. It never stood out so much more at that point right there when he's sneaking some shit in. He see that shit big as hell. Pause. When he's sneaking some shit in.
And the lad
bringing a bag to your people with shit, nigga. You see that shit, you like, you go to visit them regular. You don't even see that shit when you go to visit a nigga regular. But you go to do the right thing. As soon as you get there, that's the first thing you see. You facing 10 years, drinking contraband in here.
that was doing it with was stood at the bars waiting for me, as if to say, is it? So I just nodded, walked into the prison. I've then gone into the cell to which he was sat on the end of the bed. He said, have you got it? I said, yes. At that point there was a few people knocking about, walked out of the cell, walked back in later on, took it out and just said, there you go, don't ask me again.
What the fuck did he just say? He's stupid.
Into the cell to which he was sat on the end of the bed. He said, have you got it? I said, yes. At that point there was a few people knocking about, walked out of the cell, walked back in later on, took it out and just said, there you go.
Okay, there was a few people walking around. I thought he said it was a few niggas in the cell. I'm about to say, I know he ain't do that.
Don't ask me again.
Okay. I misheard him.
Now, looking back on it, that's exactly how it was. But I knew full well in my mind then that I'd been turned by cash, albeit £400. It's nothing really. I knew that I'd got away with it, or in my mind I thought I'd got away with it. So I agreed to do it again. To which I've now earned nigh on £1,000 in 2 smuggles, call it. I become quickly addicted to the cash and the stupidity around it and the adrenaline. I think it was stupid.
So what exactly were you smuggling apart from mobile phones?
Initially, mobile phones. I never had anything to do with the packages, as in they were given to me, sealed, ready, done. After 3 times of doing it, I realised that there was I knew there was cannabis in it because I could smell the cannabis. The first 2, I mean, we're all fairly savvy people, and had a smell of it. I couldn't tell you exactly what was in it, and neither did I really want to know because I didn't want to get involved with it. But the third package, I definitely knew there was cannabis in there.
So how many packages did you smuggle in total, you reckon?
In total? Don't know, maybe a year's worth of 2 a week, maybe. Something like that.
Were you scared of doing that?
I think I become numb to it and blasé to it, because also as well, you know, the guilt and the shame involved. You're going home, I mean, albeit you're cash rich, but
Right.
you're a no one really, aren't you? Everybody can see through you, because I've become a recluse. I didn't want to meet anyone, I didn't socialise with anyone from the prison, stopped seeing my mates, because I'd just become insular into what I was doing.
Was there any support in place for the prison officers?
Absolutely not. I know they're changing it. They have changed dramatically over the past 5 to 10 years. They're starting prison officers on somewhat ridiculous, like £18,000. You can go and earn that working in Go Burrito. It's bizarre because corruption will always be there, but when you're putting a bigger temptation like that and not giving them the proper training, and obviously not making them aware, then it's putting young people at risk. They didn't even have such a thing as like a buddy officer or a mentor back in my day. You were just chucked on a wing, and it is, like I said before, it is pretty intimidating. If you're not that kind of, you've got to be a special person, I think, to do that job. Clearly I wasn't good, you know, I wasn't suitable for it. But yeah, I don't think there was much support back then.
So how did you get caught?
I've got 2-3 packages at my house, and I thought I need to get rid of these quick, and then I'm done. I've gone into the jail, the first door's gone back, usual story, there was nothing untoward, and just as I've walked down, as if I was going down onto my wing, there's a door opened at the side, and it's my wing manager, and he said, "Can I have a word?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." Now obviously at that point that wasn't untoward, because sometimes you would have a detail, you know, if there'd been a problem the night before, if there'd have been a self-harm, you might get a detail on your way in, so I wasn't worried at that point. He said, "Can you step in here a minute? I need to ask you something. I don't want to ask you, have you got anything on you that you shouldn't have?" I said, "No." And he said, "Right, okay." He said, "I need to take you upstairs, there's a search team waiting for you. Northwest search team." And I was like, right, and I knew obviously at that point it was up. I've walked up the stairs, there's 2 dogs, 3 or 4 officers, a governor, and I've walked towards the dogs, and I've thought, what am I doing, you know, and I just said, "Look, with all, you know, respect, I'm going to give you what you want." So I said, "If you can just allow me to go into my thing," and I give them, I said, "Look, I'm sorry, there it is." And they said, "Well, we're still going to have to search you anyway, you know the protocol." I said, "Yeah, that's fine." At that point, I just literally sat at the desk and thought, thank God it's over. I don't have to make that decision anymore. Somebody's taking it out of my hands. So then taken down to the police station, and at that point I'm still in full prisoner officer uniform, so epaulets, I pretty much look like a policeman. So I've been taken into the cells, and obviously all the other prisoners are now seeing what they believe is a copper put into the cells. So they were banging on the doors, you know, there's a pig in here, there's there, and it was just, again, the noise levels were unreal. Stupidly enough, I was seeing another girl on my wing at the time. She had been she'd run straight to the governor and said, "I'm not involved with doing what he's doing. However, we have been sleeping together." So my girlfriend's got wind of this, her mum's got wind of this. I've spent all day in the police cells, obviously not knowing what's going on or not knowing what's waiting for me outside. I mean, how ridiculous is that? I've pretty much just ruined everything that I ever had. And I was on bail for about a year, and that's when things really started to unravel. I'd started taking cocaine to alleviate what was going on. So I would drink in the day, take cocaine in the night, or vice versa, and then drink. It was just like one big vicious cycle of trying to numb what was coming, really, trying to numb the pain and the guilt.
What was the prison sentence you got?
4 years. A girl picked me up in the van who I knew, in the prison van, and I said, "Where are you taking me?" And she said, "Oh, we're going to Shrewsbury." And I think this was probably the most poignant.
Yo, I know he was sick when them niggas was in there. It was like, yo, you gotta go upstairs and get searched. Cause this your job, you like a CEO. It's like, what the fuck you gonna say to them? Like, you can't be like, niggas ain't searching me. You can't, you gonna go to jail. So it's like, it's over. Yeah, it was just
taking me, and she said, "Oh, we're going to Shrewsbury." And I think this was probably the most poignant moment in my prison sentence, in the sense of when reality hit. I went through reception, signed me in, and I said, "I'm Lee Davis," and the prison officer just looked at me and went, "Yeah, we know who you are." I remember speaking to my mum, and I just crumbled. Thankfully at that point there was no more prisoners around, but I think when you hear someone's voice, when you've gone through what you've gone through that day, and you hear your mum's voice and she says, "Are you all right?" and you kind of say, "Yeah, but you know you're not." And I think at that point that was the first time that I'd properly crumbled, I think, and it was the only time really in prison that I did mentally crumble, because after that I put up like I think you have to act, because that's what prison is. It's all about acting, who people think you might be, or who you don't want to get, i.e. the.
So did he go to the same jail that he was working in? If he went to the same jail he was working in, I know that them niggas better held him down. All them niggas he was bringing up shit to, nigga, them niggas better held him down, nigga. He better been using all the phones, getting high, sniffing his yay, all that, nigga. They should have been letting my son be lit. Yeah, he should have been lit in there, I ain't gonna lie. He was holding it down, I'd have held him down. But I want to know who told on him, how he get hot.
Who people think you might be, or who you don't want to get, i.e. the prisons and whatnot. You don't want to be seen as weak, you don't want to be seen as a pushover, so you have to become almost an actor.
How would other prisoners treat an ex-prison guard among them?
I think it all depends on how you carry yourself. If you look in the eyes of the crime that I committed, technically, in the criminal eyes, I was on their side.
Exactly.
I was actually okay, but I know it can go very wrong.
Yeah. Having
said that, I obviously kept my head down and didn't get involved in anything.
Did you witness any instances when it went really wrong?
In my first jail, there was 3 policemen, 2 prison officers.
Oh yeah, the police gonna definitely be fucking with you though. The inmates gonna fuck with you because they're like, "Oh, you was for the people." Yeah, you was for the people, nigga. You was holding it down. But the CO, the other correction officers, they gonna hate you. They gonna hate you.
All on various different offences. The policeman has followed me from my closed conditions prison into the open prison. So therefore you're in just in billets. You can get up to what you want really. You're in like an RAF camp. And they've put him in the same cell as me, the policeman. I'm working 3 days in the prison, helping prisoners with admin, court applications, etc., in what they call the hub. Going out 2 days a week to college to retrain to be an electrician. So I'm sat in my cell one day, kettle was on at dinner, watching, I don't know, Loose Women or whatever, and there's a knock on the door, and the hatch is opened, bang, 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 and it's the 2 lads I work with in the hub. I was like, right, alright, and I thought, oh Christ, what's gone on here? So let us in. So they sat on the end of my bed and they said, right, we know about you, you're an ex-prison officer. I said, right. So I'm now thinking, what's coming? Right, well we're not too bothered about that. We've known about that. The problem is that the lad you're sharing a room with is an ex-policeman. I said, alright. I mean, I knew, but obviously I didn't want to let on, did I? I said, alright, not only that, he's an ex-drugs officer and he's been having lads off, going out to drug raids, taking half back to the state.
Yeah, see? Look, niggas is fucking him up. Yeah, it's different. You an ex-cop and you was out here locking niggas up, taking niggas packs. You go to jail, niggas is, they on you like, they on you like white on rice. They on you like white on rice. Yeah, but you was a CO bringing niggas the phones and the drugs, nigga. Niggas love you, nigga. Yeah, we love you. The nigga locking niggas up, fuck him. Yeah, the nigga locking niggas up, yeah, nah. Get him. Get him out of here. Yeah, pack him up.
Going out to drug raids, taking half back to the station, taking half from themselves.
That's
and for
crazy.
profit.
That's crazy.
So technically having drug dealers off.
That's crazy.
And lads have recognised him in here, and tonight you need to be off this billy. I said, what do you mean? I said, tonight, just make sure you're not in this room tonight because we don't want you getting involved with what's going to happen. And did that. Because I know that if I go and tell the prison, I know that's me. I know that's me.
Yeah, they go, I saw the real nigga, he ain't even gonna tell. You know, he would have, you know, some of them like, alright, nigga was the CO, he did bad, he brought the bag in and shit. But he still, like, got that cop in him where he might tell on niggas, like, he sees some shit, he might tell, yeah, ex-CO, just because he brought the bag in and shit, still don't trust him. Still don't trust him. But hey, he was a real one. I fuck with him.
I know that's me. I know that's me. Either being transported out or I was going to lose my college course. I mean, that was what I was retraining to be my future. So I'd seen this lad and he's got family, he's got 3 daughters, and all I could see was his family and his wife in visits in the old prison, and I thought, now's the right time to make a right decision. You know, this might, I mean, I know it's not going to right what I've done wrong, but there are certain times in life where you need to make the right decision.
Oh.
It can go wrong. It would have gone wrong. But thankfully I'd stopped it.
I told you. I thought he was a real one. I told you, nigga, that nigga still had that police in him. Fuck with this nigga. That nigga got that police in him. What I said? Okay. That nigga what it told, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. I be knowing shit. I ain't never seen this shit, nigga. I just said that. I said nigga still be having that police in him. Feel like he could make something right for what he did wrong. Fuck out of here. Nigga should fuck out of here, right ass nigga. Fuck out of here. That shit's very tight. You stopped it. How you stop it?
How does it feel to be around so much violence on a daily basis?
Do you know what? I actually think I went off adrenaline. I think because looking back on it now, because I'd worked in the prison, and the prison that I worked in was quite full on and violent, as in, I mean, we all know what 21-year-old lads are like, especially when you've got 2 rival gangs from cities. In the prison that I worked in, before dinner time, you could be attending 10 alarm bells. So before you've even sat down for a cup of coffee, you're rolling around the floor with 6 lads wanting to knock lumps out of each other. So I think it probably prepared me, in a weird kind of way, for prison life. I didn't find the prison part of it mentally difficult. It was afterwards is where I struggled.
So what did you do to rebuild your life after prison?
I re-enrolled on the electrical course, managed to scrape together some money, paid for it myself, retrained to be an electrician. Struggled to find work as an electrician because obviously at my age they're expecting experience and whatnot, so I did the odd day on site here and there. So started in this firm, yet again temporary contract, and at this point I'd got fed up declaring it, and I've never not got a job if I've gone for an interview. But I'd had that many kind of little knockbacks, and I knew that I wasn't getting jobs because of it. You know, very simple jobs, jobs that I was well qualified for. I just wanted a chance, you know, I just wanted to work again. So I've looked at it and I've thought, I'm not going to declare it. It's 30 miles from my house, it's in a place where people might not know me. Started to work, everything's going fantastic, probably 6 weeks in, really well. They took 3 lads on, and we're all still there, we're doing very well, decent money, and I thought, yeah, again, back on track. This was on my birthday, actually. So I've gone in on the morning, the shift manager said, "Hi, have you got a minute?" He said, "Have you got an unspent conviction?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Is it on your form?" I said, "No." He said, "Lee, why have you not put it on your form?" I kind of give him the story. Anyway, it's then come about, he said, "Look, I'm going to have to let you go because, you know, you've not declared it on your form, obviously you've not been honest, etc, etc." And at that point I thought, what do I have to do to get back into this world? And after probably, I'd say about 2 or 3 months of not working, I thought, I'm done with this. I'm done with this life. I couldn't get back to where I wanted to be. There was always games in my mind of, you'll never be what you was. All the guilt follows you so much, and that's been the worst part for me. The guilt will always follow you. And I just thought, I've tried it, doing it legitimately. I've tried lying. I can't get back. I can't get back to where I want to be. So unfortunately, one night I decided to end it. Thank God, the hospital was amazing, and the paramedic team were amazing. I didn't attempt to do it ever again.
Nigga tried to off himself. Woolan. That nigga tried to off himself.
Because like I said, it wasn't that was me. I was done and dusted. You know, it wasn't a case of me doing it just to get a bit of attention or to make someone aware, because I think everybody knew how I was feeling anyway. So I haven't done it again, and thank God.
Punk ass.
Are you clean of drugs now?
Everything. Alcohol and drugs were my kind of comfort to a certain degree, because like I've said, until recently, I've never spoke about it. I couldn't speak to it about, you know, all the people that I used to work with. I couldn't speak to them.
What's in the future now for you?
Well, obviously, like I said, I've retrained to be an electrician, so I'm working. The prison service have been in contact and asked if I would like to get involved with training new recruits, doing bits and bobs for them. So we're exploring that at the moment. So maybe that will be a redemption. I mean, it's been a long way around, but maybe that would be some kind of redemption. I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm happy to carry on doing what I'm doing, and who knows.
And that's the end of this. It's the end of this, man. It was cool though. Until